Hey, it's me, unapologetically T. I don't know. I don't know. It's early. Kid has went off to school, so I said I might as well go ahead and enjoy this time to be productive and get my mind together while I'm, by myself. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and cleanse the energy. Because yesterday I was struggling. Like, I told y'all, I am nowhere near perfect. I can be a bitch, just like that Beyonce song, Flaws and All. What she be like? I'm a bitch in the morning. But yeah, yeah. Yesterday was a little I don't think anything was wrong. However, like I was studying yesterday and my child just kept fucking with me. I don't know why. I guess she wanted my attention. I guess that's what it was. And then my mom thought like we wanted her attention because we were fussing. And I'm like, bruh, well, we're fussing because um she's testing my gangster and I'm having a hard time with gentle parenting right now. Um, so yeah, that happened yesterday. But I'm starting to learn I don't have to be this perfect person. I don't have to like pretend to be this perfect person anymore. Thank God. Thank you, God. Like when I say won't he do it? Like ask and you shall receive. Y'all just heard me snort. Like I do that from time to time. So if my potential partner is looking, my future partner one day is looking, yeah, I snort sometimes and I laugh. Oh, can you deal with that? But nah, I'm really not focused on no future partners. I actually did a prayer yesterday, whichever day was the 17th, because I remember looking at the dates and realizing that it wasn't the Lionsgate portal of the 888, but it still was 888, I think. Yeah, it was. So I definitely leaned into prayer heavily, even though I do that all day every day. But I definitely hadn't been asking for much lately. Been doing more of my gratitudes more than anything, but I definitely did ask for, I guess like I never did well, no, not that I never, because I definitely prayed for Dante and I got exactly, well, I didn't get exactly what I prayed for. Let me watch my wording. I got what I prayed for, but I wasn't descriptive. If that made sense. So this go round, I was very descriptive in what I wanted out of a partner. However, I also was very clear that it is God's timing and I am in no way, in no fashion or form, in any rush anymore. Like, a nigga need a break. And bringing that up, I definitely am on, it's August now. So I'm on a year and 1 month of being celibate. So yay for me. I don't have to worry about, certain atrocities that's happening out here in these sexual streets. Which I can say though, like every time something has happened to me in that department, it was from a nigga I trusted. So but still I don't have to worry about it. There is a level of, I feel like I don't feel distracted. Like I can concentrate better because I'm not tripping over nobody. Like, and that was another thing I asked for too. Like, I never had a relationship in my lifetime that allowed me to just be me and focus on me and still have a partner or a companion. Like, all the relationships that I had, it was like they kind of would absorb me. Like I would be so hyper focused and fixated on them, and partially it was my fault too because I was definitely distracting myself on helping and fixing them instead of worrying about myself. So, um, It's just like I've been doing deep reflection. I've been even reflecting on my spiritual journey when Dante passed away. Oh my gosh, like there's things that happened that I did not self-disclose and share about, but boy, did this girl have a time. Um, I had a time. I had a time of my life. Sorry for people who encountered me that I was angry with, because I definitely um let it out. I'm not gonna say I wasn't in control of it. I'm not gonna blame it on nobody else. But I did let it out, and just the overall consensus, I still don't give a fuck. So you know, um, if anybody did catch a stray and I forgot about you, I'm sorry. I do apologize. The anger in me was stored anger from years and years and years. There were some people that I was mad at that I felt like I didn't know where it was coming from, but like I said, if you genuinely caught a stray, I'm genuinely apologizing to you. However, I think most of you deserved it, if not all. But that's just in case. And if I did give you a stray, you definitely can come to me and tell me how I gave you a stray, and I'm more than willing to discuss that, talk about that, because I'm not that type of person where, like, I don't give a fuck about hurting people's feelings. I just don't give a fuck about hurting people's feelings that don't care about hurting mine anymore. But if you were someone who got hurt in the midst of things and you would like an apology, or you would like to tell me where I got you wrong, I don't mind. Whatever you need, I got you. But I done forgave myself. I'm just gonna let you know that right now. Like, I forgave me. And every day I'm constantly forgiving me for shit. Like, all the time. Like, I'm constantly forgiving myself. It's work, living a human experience. Like, cause I don't like to say just being a human being, cause like I truly cannot identify with this shit all the time. Sometimes I'm just somewhere else. This is just a bodysuit. Like, so I will say this: I have been trying to practice more of being present and being in the now, instead of like being too much in the past. I do feel like you have to reflect on your past. That's You just have to see your growth. You have to see where you went wrong so you don't go wrong again. Um, just paying attention to certain patterns, and like I said, growth overall. Like, we're living a human experience, and I look at myself as a spiritual being living this experience in this bodysuit. Which, by the way, I gotta tell my bodysuit on camera, like, girl, girl, even though you're not my ideal, look. That's what I'm saying, because it's very shallow, right? So even though you're not my ideal look and my ideal shape, um, I just want to thank my body for getting me through some hard times, because there were times where, like, I was so depressed when I was living with Dante that I wouldn't even get out the bed to go pee. Like, I wouldn't get out the bed. Like, I would not get out the bed. I might have got out the bed like once or twice a day. And it got like that at times, and shit, I still fight that shit every day. Like, it's a battle. Like, I feel like if you struggle with the depression demon, then some people call it like a spiritual STD. You identify with it the way you want to. If you want to look at it from a psychology standpoint, a spiritual aspect, a religious aspect, because religion don't acknowledge it at all, or they will call it a demon. But shit, I can see it from all point of views. But yeah, like, I don't know. I just felt, for me, my experience, and when I feel it, like, it just feels like it's a weighing down of the soul. And I think for me, like, I felt it my whole entire life. Like, if people ask me questions, like, I'm transparent enough to be like, I'll tell people sometimes, like, they might be thinking I'm joking, but like, I was born in hell. Like, and I think sometimes we don't realize that, like, when you come up in some real fucked up hard times, like, that shit feel like hell. Definitely when you are able to make it out. And I've made it out in different instances in my life. So I've gotten a taste of, and it's not like I've never been upper class. And most of the time, always as a kid had dreams of being upper class. However, I always had like this Robin Hood dream. So it was never to be like with the snooty tooty like people. It was more of a thing where I wanted to give back to the poor. Um but I've made it to like that middle ground where like you could be comfortable, and then it was like the even the comfortable shit then came kind of hellish. So it's like I feel like, but if you ever been at the bottom, at the very, very, very bottom, you and you've made it out, and you've made it out multiple times, you made it out once. Like I just call that period of life hell. Like I call that's hell. Um, and I feel like I was born in hell, and I've been fighting since I can remember to try to get out. And it's like, and I always thought, like education would get me out, or having, a nice job would get me out. I never knew, um, like, I just never felt like, I guess because I just was never taught about, like, taking care of your mental health. I never was taught about, some of the things I've learned over the years about spirituality. Like, it did not come to me until, like, my experiences throughout life, like my journey. So it's just sometimes surreal that, like, all along I had the tools that I needed to kind of like get myself out. Yeah, I think it's that, like, it's all internal. Now I do think some people could benefit from medications. I have been very clear, I feel like, and if I haven't, I do believe in Western medicine to a certain extent. I do feel like there has been so many, what can we say, advancements in Western medicine. Now, I do think Western medicine got some side effects that sometimes when you're trying to fix one thing, it's killing another thing, but that's just me. Um, but I do see that Western medicine does have potential to heal. So if you need medication and it works for you, go that route. Um, but I always say, even if you do just straight medication, like, you definitely need another component, whether it be therapy, whether it be some type of spiritual healer, um, whether it is your religion, God Himself, like leaning on Him, like whatever worked for you, work for you. I do feel like there was a time where I was in my darkest of moments, and it was just like, I was praying. But boy, did I hate hearing people tell me, like, you need to lean on God. Like, what the do you think I'm doing? Like, you just think I'm just sitting here every day, not talking to God? Ain't like I got shit else to do. So it's like, that used to piss me off, because it was like I just was at such a dark. I'm not gonna even keep using dark. I was just and I actually felt like, I embraced the dark during those times, because it was just like, shit, the dark better than the light. Shit. Because who wants to go out in that world? So, um, so yeah, like my little, I used to call it my hole. Depression was like my little hole. Climbing my little hole and not face the world. So, and like I said, this is still a day-to-day thing for me. Like, just taking it one day at a time. I'm not perfect. I'm not gonna pretend to be perfect. Um, but and I have other diagnoses besides depression. I'm also neurodivergent, and yeah, I'm definitely um struggling with PTSD too. So like, however, I'm gonna work on me. I think freedom is realizing who you are, what's your flaws, what's your great, your strengths, and embracing it all. Stop trying to hide from your weaknesses. Stop trying to hide from your trauma. That one's easier said than done, but a lot of people don't realize that. Um, but I can tell you, when it comes to facing trauma, it's painful. I can't lie to you. It's fucking painful. However, it's painful to be where you at. Like it's a misery and pain where you at, and you're not gonna get out of it until you do face the fire, and you're strong enough. You can walk through it. So do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Like, I guarantee you. If I can do it, you can do it. Cause I never thought I'd be doing these videos. Like, I don't even do these videos. I think when I first started, I had no ounce of wanting to be compensated for these videos whatsoever. But then once reality hit me, and it was like I quit my job, like in front of everybody too, and didn't know where I was gonna go and all that stuff. I started thinking about, like, can I make money off this? And then, like, now it's like I don't even give a shit about the money. It's just like I'm gonna produce these videos. Um, if I'm compensated for it, that's great. However, that my goal is to help somebody else. That's what I was called to do. That's why the God I serve was leading me to do, was to tell my story, create this content, showing people to just be your fucking self, to stop putting on these facades. I don't think the I don't think that everybody that's like forward facing, and I mean like on camera or creating content, have to like do what I'm doing and spill their whole fucking guts on the internet. But I do feel like there needs to be like a new standard that just people stop. Like, you just do what you want. You do you, like. And I do think there are some, boundaries that everybody should have, but I feel like you find your cup of tea. Like, I might not be everybody's messenger. I might not be everybody's cup of tea. Go find the cup of tea that fits you, because if everybody is themselves, then we would be more prone to finding each other, right? But we can't find each other if we all wearing masks and putting on a show. So yeah, I don't expect that the world change and bare their soul to everybody like I did. However, I do hope that once I leave this earth, that there is like a call for people to be more of themselves and stop hiding so much due to societal standards, oppression, whatever. Like, just be yourself. Um, we all came here to make a difference, and I think we've lost sight of that. But hopefully one day, we will keep waking up and remembering who we are and changing the vibration of this earth one day at a time. Oh, and I got my Respect the Earth shirt. Yep. Fabulous. I love a t-shirt. I love a good t-shirt, period. It can be from Five Below. But my favorite place for t-shirts is Spencer's. I love Spencer's, but I'll get it from Five Below, Target, or Walmart. Um, I was doing Shein until I found out that, you know, they're possibly breaking labor laws. I was like, yeah, that's a little, I don't know. But, and that's another thing. Like, if you start to wake up and you start to see all the shit that goes on here, you can't be perfect, and just do your best. Like, I know the food is not great, and I still come victim to it. And that's what I was talking about until I got on this spiel. Like, but sometimes stuff just come to me, and I start to talking, and then I just let it flow. But I was talking about how my body got me through some dark times, and I definitely gained a lot of weight when I started taking the psych medicines. They definitely, it was just something that would signal my brain like I wanted something sweet to eat. And typically, like, I would want it before I would go to sleep. So, and I was taking, because I struggle with insomnia, and I still do. Like, this Mercury retrograde is kicking my ass. Like, and I think my child is too, because ever since she came back from camp, like when she went to camp, my sleep was regulating. When she came back from camp, my sleep is dysregulated again. And I do feel like lately I've been feeling anxious, but I've been happy, but I still been feeling anxious about something. Um and I have had stuff going on, like my car's broke down, and I got some classes at the end of the month where I need my car. But shit. Such is life, and I've been getting through it. And I don't know. I just be trying to practice being thankful for what I do have. Like, just gotta do that. Can't keep asking for shit. You don't say you thankful. Like, I thank God every day. I just look back at where I was at and how far I done came, and I'm very thankful. I finally feel like I get help. um, yeah. I don't feel as alone like I did. I don't feel alone, period, anymore. My phone be dry as hell. Like, good God. Um, when you protect your peace, it actually leaves you peaceful. Oh, because that thing don't ring unless it's like somebody who wants some money, and then they ain't even calling much because I've been knocking down my debts. So, ooh. But yeah, like, I don't know. I just went peaceful just there. Like, oof, I'm paying off my debt. Good. Like, um, so yeah, I'm just focusing on recovery and healing. Putting out content when God or my ancestors be speaking to me. Or the angels. When the demons come, I have to sit them down and tell them, like, hey, look, we done went through this. I'm gonna kick your ass every time. Like, just, if you're gonna stay, you're gonna have to fall in line, and you can be prepared to be utilized when it's time to be utilized. But if if you can't get your shit together, you lack self-control, you got to go. So, it's funny because I was with Dante, and I used to feel like I was a little demon slayer, like slaying all his demons, and it was like, yeah, I was slaying demons, but boy, did he have some. Boy, did he have some. And I did too. Like, I definitely have my own demons that I be facing. But it's kind of like me and my demons, we cool. Like, ma'am, are you on my laptop? You on my laptop. Get off my laptop. You done lost your mind. Go sit down and be quiet. You're not a baby over there whining. Charlotte is at school. I'm going to need you to be quiet, okay? Be quiet. All right. She just like a child. I'm telling you. If you're new, that's Sassy, and that's my toy poodle. Me and her were reunited. Thanksgiving 2023. And that's another thing. I need to be able to. I wanted to go to Dante Gray too, so I definitely need to. It's a lot of reasons I need to get my car fixed, but I just been chilling. Like, okay, maybe that was the omen to sit my ass down, and just following suit. But this is Teas and her thoughts, and as you know, these just be all over the place. I'm just I'm just making my own dreams come true. It's funny because when I knew I was going to college, excuse me, that I was going to college, I remember a level of support, a level of praise. It was like you got this pat on the back, for doing what society thinks you're supposed to do. And I remember going to school. I wanted to do biology. Then I got pregnant, and I wasn't taking school seriously anyway. But then I got pregnant, and I definitely decided to choose a career that would allow me to spend more time with her. Because I definitely always felt that I wanted to be a present mom. And so that was just my personal preference. I know so many moms who are doctors, scientists, lawyers, all that, and they're still good moms and they're still present. So for me, though, I wanted to be like, I didn't want to miss too many moments. So I was like, oh, being a teacher was one of my second choices as far as careers, and I was like, yeah, I can do that. Get those breaks the summertime, and I loved kids. I always loved working with kids. I have way more patience for kids than I do adults because they're kids. So I always loved working with kids. So it fit, it worked out. But while I was in college, I took a human spirituality class and just got hooked onto religious studies, and never thought in my wildest dreams I would use that degree. I literally purely got that degree purely based off passion and interest. Passion and interest. Whereas in the teacher one, it was practicality, passion, interest, looks good, accepted by society. Whereas in religious studies, it's like, what do you even do with a religious studies degree? And I don't say that as like, I'm downplaying it, but literally, typically the arts and humanities stuff, like, people look at it like that. Like, what are you going to do with a history degree if you don't teach? Well, what are you going to do with a religious studies degree if you don't teach? And unbeknownst to everyone, there are so many career paths for different degrees. Like, even if you get a teaching degree, like, you don't have to teach in a classroom. You can hold workshops. You can work for a company and write curriculums. You can do so much, like, because you have so many skill sets with being a teacher, like, that you literally are an asset to anybody because you know how to multitask, and you know how to organize, you know how to plan, you know how to do a lot of different things. So however, when I got the religious studies degree, I didn't know any of that. All I knew was I liked this thing a whole fucking lot. And look at me now. It's been probably like 10 or 11 years since I graduated. And I'm finally putting my degree to use. I've already started my own business. And now I'm just like doing some refreshers. I'm just that type of person. Like, I literally probably could have jumped into this and not took the classes I'd taken. I literally probably could have went online and refreshed myself. However, I felt like I would be more confident to have, definitely being in a spiritual community, to have other spiritual people and leaders teach me. I also felt like I learned better with someone teaching me, and yeah, so that's just my jam. I think even with a successful business and as a spiritual advisor, like I will always over the years take classes. Like I feel like you anything you do, you should always keep up with what's new, what's changing, all that stuff. So I will always probably like throughout this having this business and just for my own sake take classes, keep up with everything. Kind of like how teachers take professional development classes, or if you have a job and you take professional development, I would do that for myself, just to be ever up to date on what's going on. So, yeah, I'm just kind of in that space. I I don't know. That's another reflection I done. Like my my old self used to be on motherfucking beast mode. Like even to me now, like I be having to tell myself, like yesterday, like I studied probably like for 5 or 6 hours, and then I was like, I wanted to start working on this other project I had, and then like myself told myself, it was like I'm tired. And usually like the old beast mode me would be like, you need to do it because that was your goal. It was on your to-do list today. Not realizing like, but it wasn't on my to-do list to actually put that amount of time in what I was studying. And so I had to have a self talk, and it was like, you just study for like 5 or 6 hours. Like it's okay if you work on the other part tomorrow. And stuff was like okay. But I think that's all I wanted to hear anyway, was that it was okay. I think that I came from such a scarcity mindset that I just always felt like I had to go, 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 and I had to push, push, push. And it caused burnout throughout the years, and I just don't ever want to fucking be in burnout space ever, ever again. So I'm literally trying to pace myself, and even with content creation, like I do stuff when I'm called to do it. I don't do it out of the need to keep up with likes and views. And I actually feel like definitely when you're trying to make content to reach other people, like it should not be for the likes of views. Like now if you're just making content to be rich and famous, or to get, the likes and the views, like be a little content producing little person. Like stay on your grind. However, I feel like for people who are called to, you know, do videos, to higher the frequency, higher the vibration, wake up the people, all that stuff, like I feel like you shouldn't be doing it for likes and popularity. You should be doing it for whoever it reach. And I just can't bring myself to like meet these standards. Like if you've ever created content and you look at your insights and you look at, the goals they want you to keep up with, it's just like like it's just that, to me, that's how I feel about it. It's like that's the lifestyle I was trying to get away from. Like, I'm just not. I'm good. I'm gonna create this content, and whoever the viewers it reach, it reach. Like, that's just gonna be how it's gonna be. If God feel the need to compensate me for this job, He will find a way. Like, that's one thing I can say about God. Like, there has been plenty of times in my life where I did not know where, some money was gonna come from, but it always came. And I don't just mean that I had to ask somebody for, like, these was moments where it was a miracle. And so yeah, I will just trust God. I am not in the financial situation I want to be in. However, I'm embracing that I am still okay. There are some people who are homeless, but they cannot return to a family member. They are living in their car. They are experiencing, because you know they made a law now that you can get arrested for being homeless. I think they passed it. I haven't been keeping up, so I'm not going to even misspeak, but I think they did. Um, they even make, like, they have, so when architectures look at the cities and they're building stuff for the cities, like, they literally make shit so that it is uncomfortable for homeless people. So, like, when you look at the bus stops, they make bus stops in a way so that, like, homeless people won't feel comfortable to lay on it and go to sleep. And it's like, why aren't we solving the problem of homeless people don't have a home instead of spending money into making some shit uncomfortable for them? It's just, I don't know, it's ridiculous. Just like when I be looking at how much money was raised for fucking election time, like, all that money could solve the problems we have now. Like, we don't need to elect it. We could just, but I don't know. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. I'm gonna be quiet. So I hate politics. If you have not realized it or not, I hate, loathe politics. However, politics is supposed to be about the citizens. But that's why I hate politics, because it's not. And yeah. However, I am a person who typically tries to keep up what's going on. It's just been a shit show in the circus every year. So when it comes to presidents, I just typically get to a point where I start to fall from keeping up. Like I start out hard, like keeping up with what's going on, and then it's like after a while I'll start to like drag off. And this year has been a real circus. Like, if you want to be entertained, just watch some shit either side says. But yeah, I'm just over here being me. I do have some studying to do, even though I was studying yesterday. I don't even know if that's studying, but I was creating, and yeah, it was studying, because I'm still like, it was beneficial. I wouldn't say it's studying, but it was beneficial. But I was creating like materials for a workshop that I have plans on doing in the future. But I just thought it'd be great to get a head start. So like it was like creating materials, which was tedious. Ugh. Which I still ain't finished, because it's different tiers to the workshop. So that can actually wait. So that was another conversation I had with myself, like prioritizing. So that's something that's a future venture I want to do. It is nothing that I have to do right now. So I was like, I need to get back into studying and the actual project that I have been neglecting. I haven't been neglecting it. I just took a couple of days. I took 2 days off, and I have like goals for it though. Like I wanted to do this amount by this date. So this is what is self-regulation, self motivation. Like, I was so used to being in college and being an independent learner that, and when I say independent learner, like there was a lot of things that I had to teach myself just to be up to par with what was going on academic wise. So I had to teach myself, and then I also ended up learning that it was help out there. So I completely took advantage of the resources of the tutoring center and the writing center, and I actually even became a tutor or SI leader. I look at it the same, but SI leader is a little bit deeper and is actually kind of to me more effective. So with SI leader, I was sitting the actual class, that the students were taking. I would sit in that class. I would get paid to sit in that class, and I would take notes and see what the professor was like, how the professor's teaching style was. I would tackle test taking strategies for them, but the kicker was is that yes, I would take notes. Yes, I would sit in class. However, when it came down to them learning, I would facilitate learning. So I would only be there as a facilitator, and I literally would push them to do most of the work, which is to their benefit. However, we did it by like um they could learn about auditory things by hands on. Like we just tackled different learning styles across the board. And typically the students I used to teach I used to facilitate biology, and which was my favorite, one of my favorite subjects. And typically, like, I would connect with my students always, like, as always. um and like I would get text messages like, oh my gosh, you helped me so much, like I never liked this subject, but like I was getting an F, I got a C or a B, like, like stuff like that. I had times where like me and the students, because I was literally a student too, right? So, and I was young. So they were young too at times, but like I was young too. So it was like, we would, like, I know one of my groups of students, we went to the movies one time. Um, so it was like you forming these relationships and these bonds with people, but just showing them like their own ability to learn, and like it's in them. You're just trying to foster it and bring it out. So I really enjoyed that because it was like it was better than tutoring. Like it was like we played games. Like sometimes I would bring candy. Like if you won, you get a treat. Like it was just I love that job. I love tutoring, period. Like, I tutored even after that. I loved it. I loved it. I loved tutoring. Because it's a more intimate setting than almost 30 kids in a classroom that's probably like 200 square feet. um, it's just, it's a better, it's a better thing. You get to connect more with everyone, and you're not overwhelmed by all those different learning styles, or you learning levels. So yeah, this was cool. I did used to have times where like it would be jam packed. That was mostly during like midterms and finals. Like they would all try to pile up in there, to the point where we like had to put caps on how many students could come. But it's like, who really wants to tell somebody like you can't come? So yeah, I don't know. I was having a flashback about that. That was one of my favorite jobs. But pathways will always be my favorite. Far as jobs working for other people. Um, I feel like all those jobs too. Like that's another thing. Like everything I was doing, that's something that I've come to the conclusion with. Like we really don't realize like how our life is aligned for us at every moment. And so like at this moment, like everything I did back then was preparing me for now. Every job I had, um yeah, every job I had, even down to McDonald's, Kingsman, like every job I had, shit, straight right. I learned a lot of responsibility when I worked there. Shit, I was damn near doing the job of the damn manager. She was basically training me to do her job. So I got to learn a lot of responsibility, work ethic, all that stuff. Even though I already had like a built-in work ethic, I got that from my mom and my dad. So I don't know. Yeah, my mom, whether she had a job or not, she was a hustler. And my dad, he kind of like was the person who did, like, he did his work. He retired from the military and all that stuff, even though he was a little. And then he also I'm gonna leave him alone. Let dead dogs lie. But but yeah, I definitely get my work ethic from both my parents. That's one of the things I'm learning too. Like, just because I don't like deal with him, like I can still point out the good parts of him. Because in all actuality, like regardless of what the fuck happened, I came from him, and so to hate him would be to hate myself. So you gotta learn how to let go of hate, and I do try to point out the good qualities I get from him. It be hard, like it be fucking hard. But like one of the things I can give him is a work ethic. He was gonna work and take care of himself. He just wasn't gonna take care of his kids. So, and he had a problem. He had multiple problems. So, but he was born in his own personal hell. So, you know, he didn't fully fight his demons off. Um, so I pray that he get it right next time. Um, I don't know. I'm a little sleepy, so this video is just all over the place. Hope you enjoy it. I think I'm gonna upload this video, and I did some poems earlier, so I'm gonna upload this video, upload my poems, and I think I'm gonna try to get. I don't want to go to sleep because I feel like I'm trying to regulate my sleeping schedule. So if I stay up, then I'll be less prone to stand up tonight. But I feel like sharing a bed with a kicker. I don't get much sleep anyway if I go to sleep at night. So even though she's gotten a lot better though, like when she was a little kid, like I'll wake up, her foot be in my face, like it was just all. I used to be like ready to punch the shit out of her because she would like kick or punch you. Like she was definitely a fighter in her sleep, and it was just to get on my nerves. Like you could not touch her in her sleep. Like she'd start fighting and fussing. I was like, what the fuck did happen to you before? And but she's always been like that since she was like little. Like I don't know. I don't know. And when she was a baby, even like yeah, like when she was a baby, she used to have night terrors and stuff. So like I don't know. She has gotten a whole lot better, but she's still fucking with my sleep though. But I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna spend the rest of my time. I will figure it out. I'm not gonna stress myself. I'm gonna just let it flow. But I don't know. If you're watching this, just know that everything is working out for you, how it's gonna work out for you regardless. So relax. Enjoy the ride. Follow your heart. Do your gratitudes. And thank God. Or whoever, you know. I try not to be I try not to force, you know, God on nobody because I hated that approach when it came to churches. But for me, his God, Big G, okay? And whatever you identify with, I know people who you know, associate the universe. I will say the universe sometimes. However, for me, it's Big G. But yeah, you can, you know, if you pray to Jesus, like my mom, that's what I grew up with. I believe in Jesus. I just pray to Big G. So, and y'all do know that the J wasn't a sound back then, so it's not Jesus technically. It's Yahweh. But um that's just a fun fact. Um However, I do know over time you're gonna go with what you were ingrained with. So that's why I just say like whatever is your jam is your jam. I know people who believe in many gods. I know people who, look at it all as one source like I do. Um, if you're not educated, Allah simply translates to God. So it's Arabic for God. Um, so if you hear people saying Allah, don't be insensitive. It just means God. So I just feel like, do what you got to do for you. I'm not your judger. Hope you don't judge me. Be careful. That's all I can tell you because I'm protected. And I done went through my hard times and I'm going to have some hiccups and bumps on the road, but I will not be suffering anymore. So just make sure you're not judging me or anybody else, and I try not to judge others. If I do, I just have to check myself why I did that. Like when it comes up for me, I know that when I'm starting to be a little too judgy on somebody's situation, that definitely means that it's something inside me that's triggered, and I have to look at that. It's not the person, something inside me that's triggered. So yeah, I'm gonna get off this thing because I've been talking too much, and it probably started over anyway.